Hi Standers, this is Sheila. Welcome to another question and answer time. Today we're going to talk about why some spouses will test the waters with you, why they will ask you things that in the past has been kind of a sore subject, a place of argument, and the reason for that is quite simple. Anytime that they have had ammunition against you, they're holding resentments, bitterness, just places in their life that they have used as a reason why they no longer want to come back or why they walked away in the first place. If they start to decide that maybe they want to come back, but they want to see if that very reason that kept them away is still there, they'll start asking you questions. For example, one of the things that happened in our life was my husband wanted a motorcycle. Very early on when we first met, he was always talking about motorcycles. And because I was a very strong-willed, controlling person, I always made it known under no circumstance was he ever going to get a motorcycle. I was really matter of fact and didn't even leave an open discussion for him. And there was a lot of reasons. I hid behind the excuse that I was afraid. It really wasn't a fear thing. It was more of a selfish thing. First off, to me, him having a motorcycle meant that he got to be alone and do things without me because I didn't consider it something that we would do together. Another thing was that I didn't want to see him spending money on something that was just for himself. Again, that had nothing to do with me being able to share in that, in that finance thing, that we wouldn't be able to share that expense together and get enjoyment out of that thing together. But I didn't share any of that with him. I basically told him that I was terrified he was going to get killed. So, years later, when the storm hit, and one of the first things my husband started saying was, I'm going to get a motorcycle. And I had to zip my lips. I had to really go to God with this. And that's when God showed me why I had been so against the motorcycle in the first place. And I had to go to my husband and explain to him that I was wrong. I had to apologize. Now that just took ammunition away from him as one of the reasons why he was bitter and resentful and didn't think that I was no longer wife material because of my controlling nature. So they will test the waters with you. They will see if you are now in your role and operating where you should be and not overstepping into being either too controlling or too passive. A lot of times for husbands, they'll test the waters to see if their wife is controlling. And then wives will test the waters to see if their husband is going to be supportive, security, especially if they feel the husband has not provided them a safe, loving, secure home, such as they don't like the job that you're working. They feel that job is, not bringing enough security in finances or, retirement, and they can hold that against the husband as feeling an insecurity. So they may question, are you still going to stay at that job? How are you liking your job? You have to really listen to what they're asking you. If they bring things up out of the blue, it's because that really means something to them. I'll tell you right now, one of the first things that God said to me in the very beginning of my storm, he said, Sheila, your man is a man of few words. Your husband, you need to read between the lines. He would say things so silently and quietly and didn't make a fuss. He didn't make a stink. He just would say something just, casually. And because I was not a casual type person, if something was bothering me, I would go full on lecture. I would hound him. I'd make it known and I wouldn't let up. He was not like that. He would literally just say something maybe once, one time, and maybe a few months later say that again, one time. So for me, it was so easy to dismiss his little subtle hints. And God spoke to me very clear that first year of the stand. He said, I need you to pay attention to every single thing your husband says or has said in the past that you have completely dismissed. If he says something about the garage kind of getting out of hand, that means, Sheila, your stuff is in his space. That's his space where he works and keeps his things, and he needs you to go clean it. And that's exactly what I had to do. I had to listen to every little subtle hint that my husband said. So again, that's like how they test the waters. They will put things out there to see, does she respect me? Or for a wife, is he listening? Is he listening? The same with husbands. When your wife is sharing little things, they may not seem like big things, but to them they are huge. We need to listen, we need to validate, and we need to respect what they're feeling at the time they're feeling it. Hope that answers your question. God bless you guys.